You can stream us on all platforms, including Google, Spotify, etc., etc. Welcome to the Tony Michael Show podcast. You're about to step into my world.
Here is Tony Michael!
Tony Michaels! It's just who I am. I don't walk in the studio and say I work with all these artists. This is me. Hey, what's up, y'all? So, I'm going to say this. Two things. Johnny Wright, I had a big problem, a huge problem, and the choreographer Wade Robinson. Long story short, we shot the making of a tour. I'm a choreographer and creative director. He is. We are They hired us. They hired me on the video shoot for It's Gonna Be Me to do the tour. That was the first time they had worked with me choreography wise. Right. And by the time I got home, the next day they called my agent, and my agent said, "What did you do?" And I said, "We did a great video." And brother said, "Well, whatever you did, they loved it. They want to see if you want to be co-creative director for the tour with Wade." I was like, "What?" But it was my professionalism on that set for them. And so, long story short, we shot it. MTV shot the making of the tour. When it was time to go into editing, the head guy, all I'm saying is Carbone. I know his first name, but I'm saying Carbone. Okay. I get a call from MTV. Tone, can you come out to, they were in Santa Monica at the time. I come out, I go out, I sit down, I talk to them. And he says, look, he shows me some of the footage. I'm like, oh my God, this is so dope. I'm so excited about this. He said, now we got a problem. I said, okay, what's the problem? He said, MTV doesn't want to showcase two choreographers. See, this is the stuff y'all don't hear. Yeah. This is a fight. This is a fight. By the way, the other choreographer is Wade Robinson, and he's white. I'm not racist or nothing, y'all. So I said, huh? What are you saying? You know, I wasn't even this bold then, because once I had crossed, it was over. I will fuck you up. But once I have a kid and you know, it gave me more balls. I already had them, but and so he said, well, they feel like it's too confusing to talk about you as a choreographer and then Wade as a choreographer. And I said, how can you do this when you shot and we're creative director? Wade actually left and had to go work with Brittany, and I had another 3.5 weeks to shoot and run the whole show on the road for them. Right. I said, so how can you cut me out? There's no way you can cut me out. Wait a minute. First of all, why are we talking about cutting me out? Right. And so he said, well, Tony, you know, he saw how passionate I got, because I say passionate, and it's my career. It's my work.
No, absolutely.
I was like, are you kidding me? And so we got home. I got home. I called the agent right away. Well, I'm represented by the same agent that's representing Wade. And so then we get on a three-way like 2 days later. Before y'all, this is before our phones was like, right. So we on the this is 2001. I'm dating myself. And they're arguing. Everybody's arguing. And then he spews out, Tony didn't do anything anyway. And by the way, on the phone, he also goes, by the way, he said, listen, I got to do a job. I'm trying to get, this is what he said out in the meeting to me. He said, listen, you know, the way that MTV works, is that they hire producers. It's not like we're in-house producers, we're hired. And I need to, he said, I never forget this. He said, I need to keep creating for myself. They basically wanted to use that as a platform to catapult Wade into a show that they could sell to MTV, which happened. Which was the Wade Robinson project, right? Which happened. And so he said, I got to pay for my kids to go to college and everything else. And I was like, listen, I got a couple family members down off of Crenshaw, and I had some cousins that are, and I knew what to do with work, everything. I just wanted to go tear his car up, and like I was floored. Like and then I had set up interviews for like Good Morning America and the Today Show as Tony Michaels, the choreographer for Instinct's creative tour, whatever. And then what happened was he said, we're just going to do, the agent wasn't fighting it, because they have a client that's there. They don't want to lose that money, right? And they didn't fight or anything. And so long story short, if you watch the making of the tour, they took my name off of everything. You can't help but see me in everything. So for the cast, for the when they showed it, they took everything off. When they put it on, it was on VHS and DVD. Right. You could see me with everything, but they didn't give me my credit or nothing. I called Johnny Wright because I was like, Johnny Wright is Justin's manager and he was NSYNC's manager at the time, and he's a brother. And I was like, Johnny, look, I was just straight. I said, well, Johnny, how can they do this to me? What's going on? Why could Johnny? I couldn't get Johnny. I got Teresa. Paige. And then she said, Tony, I'm going to get it to him. She got it to him. He was frustrated by it. He was very upset about it. And at the same time, he was trying to figure out, how do I work this? Because I have a deal with MTV, working my artists, and how do I do this, right? And so, long story short, y'all, they aired it. They didn't cut me out because they couldn't. They just didn't give me a tag. They didn't say, Tony Michaels the choreographer, Tony Michaels co-creator, director, everything. Do you know how devastating that?
No,
like,
absolutely.
I was cringed at that. So that happened on a Monday. By Tuesday night, I got a call. I didn't know what to do. Today's show canceled. Good Morning America canceled because now they were looking at a phenom named Wade Robinson, white boy that is 19 years old and choreographing for these big artists. So they canceled my interviews. Right? I had a publicist and everything. I'm heated. I know what to do. It was by Wednesday. I get a call from Johnny Wright. He says, Tony, the boys are doing HBO special. We're booking we need to fly you in for the whole week next week, and you guys need to clean the whole show up. I said, okay. They fly me in. Oh. So right after that, I talked to Teresa Page, which is Johnny Wright's manager. Johnny Wright's left-hand person at the time. She said, Tony, look, let me tell you something. I'm saying all this to say this. She said, let me tell you something. I was a lot like the way that you were. And this year is becoming different. I'm very humble. I never walked in the door like I work with anybody, like I did this, like I did that. I felt like work will talk for itself. I come from real humble beginnings, nothing, welfare, the whole nine. I never was like a bragger, ever. I just would be in the back of my head going, I'm going to kill this choreography. I'm going to kill this. They're not going to upstage me. But I was never like, hey, look at me.
Right.
And so she said to me, Tony, I want you to learn this off of this experience. She said, Tony, sometimes you have to toot your own horn. You have to let people know some of the things that you've done so they can understand the level that you're at. And I was like, when she said that to me, from there on out, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep that. And that's what I'm saying. That's like you said, you felt that way. I was like, okay, that's what you got to do. Now, people nowadays, everybody want to be so PC, but they think it's arrogance because you say, look, I am great. Listen, if you're not saying you're great and you're the best, you can do it. Flew into New York with Wade right next to me. Never said anything about what happened on the TV show or nothing. Johnny got it good though. He flew me in. We landed. As soon as we landed, they were like, they was like, Tony, you guys are going straight to Madison Square Garden. They setting it up right now. I was like, okay, cool. I got there. As soon as we come into the building, can you bring Tony Michaels to such and let him know this, Okay, cool. But Wade's really too, but I didn't hear Wade. They said, we need you out in the front. We're going to do an 8-minute countdown. You're going to talk to the producers and directors of the whole show and blah, blah, blah. You're going to give them all the information about what you guys do and blah, 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 blah. It's going to be an 8-minute countdown into the live show. I was like, okay, cool. I get out there. We start talking. They was like, so they start asking us questions. We're in the middle of Madison Square Garden. And they say, well, who choreographed this? Going to be me. I said, oh, that was my work. I was like, okay, cool. So they start talking to me about it. And they said, who did say stuff? I was like, okay, I did that too. So it so happens there was the videos that I choreographed that he hadn't done. So then it was like, okay, cool, creative director, blah, 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 blah. So then they had most of the stuff they geared toward me. Like all the questions, all the everything they geared toward me. So then I found out in that moment, and not that moment, but later that day, Johnny had talked to them. He had to figure out a way. He's like, I have to figure out a way to get Tony his
recognition.
Absolutely. And so they aired it, and when they aired it, they didn't give him credit. Now everybody saw that Monday. Everybody saw. I think they said 3 million or 4 million had watched the making of the Tour Friends thing. But 8 million had watched the HBO live show. Dope. So I say this story to say I think sometimes as our people, we don't really know our value and we don't stand for it. And sometimes that might mean walking away from that gig and not making that money.
Absolutely.
See, the wild thing is, the story I got from the thing that I heard from both of y'all is where the agency was part of the problem. And I don't have an agent in the dance world, so I'll be the one to say, the problem is, people have forgotten somewhere along the line that the agency works for you, not the other way around.
Yeah,
no,
that's
absolutely.
True.
I preach that.
I preach
that
all the time.
I respect the fact that you were telling them, like, no, don't push me on that. Yep. This is what I'm doing, and if you're gonna work for me, you know what I mean. But like, dancers gotta really realize that, like, if they're gonna get together, they gotta get together minus those people because those are the same people that are causing that confusion.
Absolutely. I preach that to new dancers and dancers because a lot of dancers, they come out here and they really don't know, and they're listening to 25 million people, next to them, other dancers or the agents, and I'm like, y'all don't get it twisted. Please always remember, understand your value. They work for you. You don't get paid, they don't get paid. Period. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you got to start walking in that truth.
You got to. I love that you said that, what you said. And so, wait a minute, let me get this. Did you, Khaled was on SNL. You did all of that.
So, yes, let me tell you what's so crazy about that. That was amazing. So, when Nipsey had passed, I can't tell you, when I tell you, I cannot tell you for the life of me how it affected me. And I think it affected everybody. And I didn't know that man. I didn't really listen to his music. But me, I feel like, I used to live in LA. Like, me and my homegirl, best friends, off of Crenshaw and Slauson.
I used to catch the bus right there. I lived on Crenshaw and the 10 and then Crenshaw on 43rd.
Yeah.
And then King and Western.
No, so when he passed, because I'm like, I know that man. I know that man. I know that type of man. I know. So I understood, and it resonated with me. So let me tell you, like, when I say one of my assistant can tell you, I was, when I say a month, I was just like down. So I get a call. My agent calls me and like, yo, they want to book you for SNL for DJ Khaled, like creative direction. And just giving movement. And I'm like, okay, dope. I didn't know what song it was, had no clue, nothing. They just named all the artists. They was like DJ Khaled, SZA. So I'm like, well, can I get the song? I don't know what it was. And they was like, well, just wait till you get there. And I'm like, okay, this should be pretty easy. But the cast of artists, I was like, wow, it's Lil Wayne, it's John Legend.
Y'all.
No, literally in my career. So when I got there, I'm in the hotel the same day I had to be on set. So I'm in the hotel and I'm looking up, I'm kind of on Instagram and I'm scrolling through and DJ Khaled posts, tonight, Nipsey's tribute. And when I tell you, I was like, this is not happening. For me, it just, because the place I was in mentally, I was like, no, this is not the tribute. So I hadn't even heard the song. So when I went online and I looked up the video and I'm like, oh my God, they're performing first of all, it's a tribute to Nips. And so when I got on set, I just can't explain to you the feeling that I had. And I had to become, because Wayne wasn't there. I think Meek Mill wasn't there. And it was one other artist. So I had to be 3 artists on that stage. So it was me and like literally. So I had Big Sean. These people, I'm just jumping from subject, but basically, like, they was looking at me like, who is she? I had to be 3 artists. And when I tell you, me and Khaled was acting like I was Lil Wayne. I was doing his parts. I said, I need a mic. Like when I do this, like I have to do it for real so that they understand what they're trapped.
Setting up those camera shots. Yeah.
Khaled was looking at me, and when I tell you, Big Sean walks up on that stage, he said, "Yo, you're dope. You're really dope." And to be on stage with that caliber of artists, and that was my first time being in front of those, like as long as I've been in the industry and as many people as I've worked with, to be on stage and to be around, like I had to literally show Wayne, like I had to become him when he arrived. He sat there and he watched, and everybody was literally like, yo, who is she? She's fucking dope.
Yes.
Like she's dope. And I'm a female, and they was like, yo, she acting harder than half the niggas. No, literally was like, yo, I don't.
See, that was nobody knew, and then you styled them.
I didn't style them. No,
okay.
I didn't style them. I just did. No, I didn't do any. I didn't do no styling.
Okay.
I just did movement for that particular show. Okay. Yeah, but that was amazing. That was amazing.
I was just like but see, I didn't hear no agent shift that out, and I didn't hear about that. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, y'all, that's you. Like, that's just God showing you the level you are. No, on that stage with all those, that's who you are. I think a lot of times everybody forgets, once you you're here, you keep your mindset there. You go there, you keep your action, your faith there.
No,
you stay there. But I said that to Cross. Y'all hear about Cross all the time. He was with Usher Saturday, Thursday night. He was supposed to perform with Usher Friday night. Nice. Usher at the last minute took the choir out. Took the kids choir out. Which is, but I'm saying, I told Cross, that's God showing you where you're going. Yeah. And that's you in that. Because, I mean, to that level, I remember everybody kept coming out, and then when you was posting, I was like,
no.
Oh, Dan did this?
No, yeah.
But you didn't hear an agent I didn't see nobody say, let's give it up for such or a client or Baba. Let's give it up for. I see that so much. That stuff pisses me off because ain't no female choreographer that did that. And I'm so loud. It pisses me off.
We gotta flip the narrative. You know what I mean? So like the problem is where the humility comes in, where it can start to work against us, is the fact that when I heard that story, there was a moment when you were like, "Yo, to be on stage with that caliber of artist," I'm like, "Hold on, let's not take away from the fact you've been doing this longer than they have."
Hey,
no,
Let's flip the narrative. Let's make the conversation. They were lucky to work with you, not the other way around.
That's right.
No, absolutely.
That was dope. So anyway, everybody, if y'all don't get a chance, go to YouTube. This is cool. I'm good. Go to YouTube and check that out because OTHTHAN did all of that. Like that's what I'm saying. At times I call her my unsung hero because I'm a shero. Because I be like, didn't they know you did this? Didn't they know you did that? And then sometimes they know, but they don't want to give the credit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope. I was like, ugh. So all these magazine covers you doing too. Like, I mean, you got a ton of magazine covers. Like, it be dropping so fast. Y'all gotta follow her. I'm like, she just did this.
Yeah. So
we gonna wrap this up, y'all, because we can talk forever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Where you headed this? We shooting this now. This is top of the year. Where are we headed at? I mean, as far as the stylographist. Just
I'm doing everything within my realm of what I get paid to do now. Mm-hmm. I'm also I have two female rappers that I'm developing, managing, producing. Mm-hmm. I'm doing it all, trying to get them signed. So I have that, my styling, my creative direction, and I'm like, this isn't far off from what I've done from day one. It's like now I've been paid to develop everybody else's stuff. And so now I feel like I want to have my own and be able to create from the ground up my own artist. So, entrepreneurism is
so your brand is, so when people follow you, tell them where to follow you at, OTHTHAN.
I have two pages. OTHTHAN Created It is my creative direction choreography page, and then OTHTHAN Styled It is my styling. And I sometimes post on both, but sometimes people just want to see styling. So, but yeah, OTHTHAN Styled It and OTHTHAN Created It.
It's interesting. So let's just say this, and then we're gonna wrap it. We were talking about Instagram, and we were talking about social media, and I knew that I had to. I realized that I was like, okay. I remember Phil talking to me about how the choreographers were coming up on Instagram and on Facebook and all the social media. And I remember saying, okay, I'm going to either get in it or I'm going to either sink or swim. And I was like, I got to get into this game. And it's so interesting. At times, you don't want to post. Sometimes I get tired of continuously. But now what I've understood about the whole situation now is that networks and production companies, everything, they go there now to find so much.
Absolutely. They like, send me your, you want to recommend somebody? Send me their Instagram. Yeah. It's the first thing they say.
It's the first thing they say. And so I think, do you think it's kind of like a catch-22 at times because it's so much of it is false on Instagram as well. There's so many people that are just flossing and they're not who they are. So do you find it, how does it work for you? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't put too much, I don't put a lot of energy into making sure I post, because Instagram to me doesn't make or break me. I'm going to be who I am with or without it, period. And it's not my job to make you see that. But, I post what I post. I post when I can. But I don't stress about it.
That's good.
I do know it's a big influence, and I do know, but I'm just in a place in my life, where I'm like, hey, I'm very secure. I don't need to have this. This is definitely an element in life right now that works for everybody, and that's happening and trending, and that's where people are trying to find. But I'm not gonna, exhaust my energy on trying to.
Get the numbers up.
Get the numbers up.
I was trying to when I set this whole podcast thing out, I was like, it's really interesting because I was still choreographing, and I'm still choreographing. I just have to sometimes a lot of stuff I have to turn down because I can't travel with Cross. I can't travel. And so that kind of pulls me out of the loop unless it's like something at a studio or something that's in town really quick. But what I realized is with my podcast, I said, you know what? I just want to. I got it on YouTube and I got it on. It's on all of the streaming systems, the platforms. But I was like, I just got to do this, and it'll come. Whatever it goes, it feels like it's where I'm at. I'm like, I got the gift of gab, and I want to turn this into a talk show. So I want networks to just come to it and see it and go from there. But I feel like you. This week I was like the last 3 weeks I was really sick, so I wasn't posting as much. And my twin sister hit me up. She's like, I noticed that you're not posting as much, but that's kind of good. I said, you know what? I can only post. I just feel like, I see people like 24/7.
No.
And I was like, I can't. I'm trying to figure out how do I not make it I don't want to make it my life, but it is somewhat of a brand. So let me figure out how to get it in there. And so I kind of do it like once a day or every 3 days or every 4 days, but not stay too far gone and let people come in. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank, is there anything you want to share with people? Anything that you feel like people don't know about you, or, I've been trying to get it in, man. This is a time, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just grateful for the people that support me, who've been supporting me from day one. I'm very grateful. And those of you who don't know, yes, I've been in the industry since 91. And, I've been blessed to still be doing it and still be able to be in the game. Like, not to have, this is not bragging, but I do want to be honest. Like, I've been very, very blessed. I haven't had a regular job since 91. And the longest that I've taken off was to have my son. And that was 9 months. My son is 24. I have a grandbaby, A. Second, B. But yeah, so
I got so much tea on this show.
Yeah.
I never seen your son.
He's in Chicago. Yeah, he's in Chicago. So, that was the longest that I took off. 9 months. 3 months after that, breastfed, was back on tour with Keith Sweat, and I've just been going ever since then. So
that's crazy.
So I've been blessed, and I do want to say that to end it. That I thank God every day. Like, I've had to stop and almost pinch myself. Like, you are still in it, and
that's the top of your game. Relevant, yeah. No. Because you guys, I have to admit, once I got custody, 50-50 custody of my son, I had to. It was this. You either gonna give up custody and have visitations and travel and choreograph for all these artists still, because all this happened. I had just did Beyonce, so I was still relevant, right. And I just had to. I said, I want to raise my son.
Yeah.
And I had to slow down. And I had to run and get a day-to-day job just to have that.
No, absolutely.
But I kept holding on to what I wanted to do and keep doing it here and there. So for her to say that for all these years, it's such a blessing. But it lends itself to the level of who she is and what she's done. Like, it don't listen. It don't get no better than that. That means that she is still at the top of her game. When you getting called from DJ Khaled in 2020, 2019, and you've been around since 1991, hey, all of y'all that want to keep saying that y'all big and y'all dope and all of those things, listen to this person so you can get there. Yeah. Listen. All right? Anyway, let's give it up for OTHTHAN. Thanks so much for coming to the building with the Tony Michael Show podcast.
Thank you.
Holla at y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I'm so glad I got her, man. You can stream us on all platforms, including Google, Spotify, etc., etc. Welcome to the Tony Michael Show podcast.